this meeting just in case anyone who wasn't able to participate, or if you just need to review what we discussed today. So I will have that available for you at a later date. Can everyone hear me? Any issues? Okay, good deal. So thank you all for participating. I'm pretty pleased thank you for taking your time away. I did want to go ahead and get started by letting everyone know that for our licensing specialists, there have been some changes to their workload. So there will be different specialists maybe coming to your agencies or to the foster homes. The goal is for them to try to introduce themselves before they actually come out if they haven't been out there before. So hopefully they'll get a chance to do that, just so you are aware of who will be participating in those visits. There were a few topics that I wanted to go over, and so we'll just jump right into it. Well, first of all, let me ask, is everyone doing okay? Have there been anything good going on at your facilities or your foster homes, or have you guys had any activities that you want to share about your youth that went really well? Does anybody have anything that they would like to share?
We had some students do a volunteer activity at a shelter for animals, and they had a good time there. And we've also got our fitness center up and running so that the students have a place on campus to go and work out. We have them doing physical exercises every day, but now we have a place where they can go inside and do, work with the machines and do some little lifting and work with bands and running on the treadmill and on the bicycle and elliptical devices. And they're really pleased with that.
Very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Heyman. Can you let them know what facility you're at?
Yes, it's Rite of Passage Roar. It's a residential options for adolescents with who are in recovery. And it's a collaborative effort with DYS.
Thank you so
We're in a
much.
facility in Louisville.
Louisville, Arkansas. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to share? Feel free. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Um, so there appears to be an increase in both foster home and the facilities, an increase of incidents that have been occurring according to licensing. And so I just kind of wanted to ask you guys a few questions about, do you kind of have a feel of like what's going on, just to get some feedback from you all. Like, how are your youth responding to their treatment plans? Um, do you have a sense of how your staff is feeling about work? Have your staff expressed, like, are they feeling overwhelmed? Are they overworked? And have you observed any changes in behaviors for your staff? So does anybody want to kind of start the discussion on anything that you have noticed at your facilities, your homes, agencies? Everyone's doing okay at their agency?
I would say we're doing okay. I think the challenge is we're a fairly new facility. And there's this period when the students come in and they are trying to get a feel for the place and that kind of thing. And then once they get settled, they then begin to show some behaviors. And I think that's the part where the staff get frustrated with, because of course there's only so much that we can do to maintain, a disciplined environment. And I think that's frustrating to them. So what I've been doing to try to attack that is retraining, a lot of retraining, trying to get people to a trauma-focused view of behavior management. And I think it's going to take some time to get people to, because we're in the South and there's a lot of that kind of mentality that, kid is supposed to do this, and this. And of course, you've got your expectations, but getting the staff on the same page with a more trauma focused view of behavior management, that's been a challenge, I think.
And this is Jennifer at Haven. I think we have noticed that the girls that we're getting in need more one-on-one supervision than some of the previous clients. So we are looking at trying to up our staff to client ratio with the summer schedule, put more staff on shifts. So we'd be curious to know what the ratio other QRTP programs are using as far as staff to client ratio.
Okay. Is for any other QRTPs that may be on the call, have you all decided to increase your ratios from staff to client? Is there anything that you are able to share from Ms. Jennifer?
At the children's shelter here in Fort Smith, we've found, this last year and a half that 3 staff with our 9 kiddos is like the perfect ratio. We can do it with 2, but then when you have one, cooking meals or answering the phones, answering the doors, etc., that pretty much leaves 1 staff. So for us and our kids and our population, 3 staff members on the main shift, like 3 to 11 with 9 kids works great. That definitely, is an increase from, we used to operate 24 kids. I mean, that was years ago, of course, when we had 24, but that works for us. Overnight, we still always have 2. We never ever have a staff member working by themselves.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Amy. So again, it also brings me back to the activities that your youth may be involved in, maybe when they're out of school until it's time for bedtime. Has anyone changed up those activities, or have you increased the activities, or do you find that they have more idle time once they get out of school? And if so, are you seeing an increase of behaviors or different types of decision making among the youth? If anybody would like to share.
We're actually increasing. We here we try to keep as much of their time scheduled as possible, because that idle time seems to be the time when they fill it with things that we may not want them to do. So we try to keep things as structured as we can, and we're more likely to be adding something to the schedule than taking it away. And we find that has been helpful to make sure that we're keeping the schedule pretty tight until bedtime.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to share?
James Ball from the Boys Home in Fort Smith. I have to agree with Ms. Heyman, and that's what we're in the process of doing. Our new gym is almost fully done, and we are actually bumping one of our staff up to being like an athletic director. They're gonna be required to go out there for a couple hours a day, and we're gonna do activities. We've taken advantage of the grant from DHS and bought exercise equipment. We'll have basketball out there. We'll even be doing movie time out there. We're putting up a projector in the gym. We'll be able to do like a movie night. So it's going to open us up to a lot more things and getting them active.
Very good. Way to go, DHS. I wasn't aware that they provided a grant, but I'm pleased to hear that. Um, so unless anyone else has anything, I'll move on to the next topic. Okay. So I wanted to know, what are some ways that you show appreciation to your staff? Because recently had a few visits that I made to a few agencies, and the staff indicated that they were overwhelmed, and they were working a lot of overtime. because, for whatever reason, other staff calling in or just a shortage. And so I know that it could be that, they can have this feeling that I'm not appreciated. And when you're not appreciated, it's my opinion that you're not as happy to go to work. So, um, have have you all done anything to show any appreciation to your staff, or you just kind of letting them do as they please, come in and go home? Can anybody kind of discuss that?
At Haven, we have a break room that we keep stocked with snacks for our staff, and they get 30-minute breaks on shift. They're required to take a break. We found that that really helps them, and they appreciate that. We also have got them sending me notes through the week of ways that their coworkers have done a great job or stood out, been helpful. And then at our weekly staff meeting, we put all those in a basket and we draw one out and read it out loud. And that staff member that it's about gets to keep that, plus gets like a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card or something like that.
Very good. I can tell you, I can testify that we love free things at work. So that is great. And the fact that you're doing the extra is pretty wonderful as well. Does anyone else show any appreciation for your staff? Or do you take the time to acknowledge that you see any changes in their behaviors, or like when they come into work and you're doing debriefing, are you noticing anything with your staff? Um, can anybody else share?
Hi, everybody. I'm Janae Singleton from Community Empowerment Council, and I'm the case manager for the DHS house. Normally, when I started, we started a family dinner night. So go off the pay period, just so to be easier on everybody. But we just do a big meal for the kids and the staff. We do desserts, and we just, try to relax and enjoy the Friday, do a movie night. But that's pretty much what we do every other Friday.
Do you find that the staff really appreciates that, or?
Yeah, it makes like the clients' behaviors, it just sets the tone for the evening. So the clients are all just relaxed and like, oh, we got food, we're about to watch movies. And I just normally like go rent. Don't really do DVDs anymore. So we stream from like HBO Plus or something like that, and just, stream new movies that come out so everybody can just sit and enjoy. Most of the time, all the staff don't make it because everybody's enjoying their off day, but
Yeah.
everybody comes and gets a plate. So
Okay. Anyone else?
We do something here called Ram Bucks. When we see somebody who's done something really cool, we send it to HR and we say, hey, I want a Ram Buck for this person. So then they write it up and they get a nice little presentation card and they get a Ram Buck. It's like a little paper dollar, like Monopoly money looking thing. And we maintain a little, it's not a big deal, but little things that they could trade their Ram Bucks in for. And so they can come maybe get like a cute cup or maybe a shirt or something that's cute, and that's how we try to recognize some things on a regular basis. And then we recently had a nice spring fling where we did food and that kind of thing. And actually, we even invited the kids and we did activities together, and we had a kid in each group of staff members, and we just had fun. It was just a fun day. And so trying to make it times when it's not just work, we can also have lots of fun together as well.
Good. Thank you. Okay. If anyone doesn't have anything else, I'll move to our next topic. So I did receive an update on COVID vaccinations. And I'll be kind of looking down because I'm going to read down off my notes. So I was informed that the Pfizer vaccination is the only company that is allowing youth under the age of 18 to be vaccinated. So, with that, consent forms from parents must be obtained for youth ages 16 and older to obtain a vaccination. If there are any ages with a large number of youth, um, and older that have consents for vaccinations. So if you're a facility like Methodist um, or Piney Ridge, and you have maybe uh, 15 to 25 youth that have consent forms to get the vaccination, there is a possible way for them to send a mobile unit to that agency to get those youth vaccinated. I was informed that if there may be 3 to 5 youth ages 16 and older who have consents for vaccinations, then you should probably try a pharmacy or their pediatrician to get that vaccination. And so they're still working on some things with the vaccinations of youth. Um, I, there hasn't been, I know there's been discussion of vaccinating youth age 12, but from my contact from DHS, they're still trying to work those things out. So right now they're only doing 16 and up. So if you have any other questions about that, you can send me an email, and I will try to get some more concrete information for you on that. Okay. Um, I think we've had, first, let me apologize. I don't think I talked to you all after the last regulatory or background check meeting. There was one where it was hacked. So we had some really strange things going on that Zoom meeting, and so it was canceled. There was a recent one on Monday, I believe, no, Tuesday, May the 4th. Um, that has been recorded, and I'll put the information on the web. Well, the information is on the DCC ECE website, and you will go to informational provider calls, and that is where you will find all of the recordings for the regulatory check or background check meetings or trainings. And I'll send out an email just to give you guys a reminder about that. Okay, Fatima, can you say that again? I'm sorry. Can you unmute?
Everyone, I also sent everyone whose email I have currently the link out. So it should be in your emails too, where you can follow the link to the recorded meeting.
Okay. And so I'll briefly go over some legislation that has passed. If you need additional information on it, I'll have to kind of gather myself and get all the details about it. So these are concerning placement in residential licensing unit. So there's Act 269. So this is going to require all staff to have an FBI check. So all staff would need to have an FBI check. It's Act 269. So Act 673. This involves no corporal punishment shall be used, shall be administered in any facility. And then we have Act 772. So this is concerning newly licensed providers. Upon their request, they would have to obtain a permit from the Health Services Agency. I believe this is more specific to psychiatric residential facilities. And we do know that there's a moratorium obtaining POA beds. So, but that is an act that has been passed. So we have Act 269, Act 673, and Act 772. There was not an emergency rule on those. So my understanding is that they will become active in the next 90 days. Okay. I believe that is all that I have for today. Does anyone have any topics for discussion for our next meeting, which will be every first Thursday of each month at 10 a.m. Is there anything that you would like for me to kind of research for you? Anything? Guys are okay? Is anyone having any issues that maybe all of the providers can kind of help you figure out? Maybe they're having a better time of handling those situations. Does anybody need any assistance with anything? Okay. So again, just to kind of recap, we do have several new staff. They have had changes in their workload. So you may be seeing a different licensing specialist come to your agency or out to your foster homes. Hopefully they'll get a chance to kind of introduce themselves prior to going out if they had not already been there before. So with that, that is all that I have. If you have any questions for me, just let me know. I did record this meeting, and if you would like a copy of it, I'll try to do my best to get that information to you. And yes, Megan, I will start adding you to these meetings. I'm sorry. And Megan Bush from DHS. Um, if there's not anything else, I will hope that you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.